how many hours are lost to meetings that start with, "So what should we talk about?" You know those meetings where there's 2 or 3 people talking about naval fluff and its effects on the sound system. They go into such detail that old Bob's in the corner snoring gently. It goes on too long. Nate's in the other corner doing his side hustle. And the worst of it is, 20 minutes overrun and no decisions made. Poor old Bob has to scuttle out because his prostate's playing up and he needs a pee. I've been there. So how do we fix it? It turns out you don't need a revolution, you just need a checklist. And it starts before the meeting even begins. So we're talking about agendas. I'm Chris, and in my 30-odd years of engineering meetings, far too many to count, I know what a great meeting is, and I know what a terrible meeting is, and I hope you do too. So let's begin before the meeting even starts. What do we begin with? We're putting down on our checklist, on our agenda, the number 1 item is the outcome. What are we expecting to get out of this meeting? Without that, the meeting's a pointless waste of time. So what we want to know is, what is that main decision going to be? Once we've got that, we can move on to the other items that you want to put on the agenda. And, those might be informative, but they're not discussive. Where they're, again, making decisions or passing on information. You need to invite the right people. There is no point in inviting Bob. He's retiring in 2 weeks' time. He's not interested. Nate is too junior. He never makes a decision. He never has any input. The last thing you need to do in the preparation stage is send the agenda out early. Give people a real chance to understand what the meeting's about and to prepare themselves for it. They may have some information that is relevant. They want to go with a decision in mind for themselves. Now you've got the right people in the room, the clock is ticking. This is where most meetings start to slip. Unless you run them with real discipline. You need a sergeant major. You need a chair, whether the chairwoman or chairperson. They will make sure that your meeting runs on time. They bring back the 2 idiots that are talking about naval fluff and say, look, that's all very interesting to you. It has no relevance to this meeting. So you tell them to talk about that outside the meeting, and I bet you that they don't. Your chair, your sergeant major, is a disciplinarian. He's the one, or she's the one, that's going to make sure that people start coming to your meetings on time. They need to call out people that turn up late. So they've got to be senior enough to be able to call these decisions. It can't be a junior person that's going to get ignored or also get some nasty looks from senior people. So a senior person who can make decisions, make calls that say, look, let's get this back on time. They're also responsible for making sure the timings of everything. So what are we going to do? We're going to start with a decision. Topic that you've all come to the meeting for, that one thing. We get that out of the way. Preferably, you only give it about 10 minutes. Don't let it go on too long, because otherwise you'll end up dominating the whole meeting and never coming to a decision. Excuse me. Talking to the sergeant major, we also need a note taker. Now, the sergeant major can be the note taker, but normally it's not. It's somebody separate. But you don't want an administrative person, easy for you to say. What you need is somebody technical enough. Yes, junior. You can have a junior person taking the notes as long as they understand most of what you're talking about. They don't have to know all of the intricate details, but they do need to know what those keywords, those jargon words that you're going to use are. I had a great admin person working with me. She was wonderful. She's one of the best I've ever worked with. And she ended up taking notes for too many meetings, technical meetings. And she would come to me afterwards and say, Chris, can you go over the notes and tell me, I don't understand this. We're talking about stuff that is way beyond me. And there'd be gaps here and there because she really just didn't understand, which is fair enough. It's not meant to understand. And I would have to do the notes. Now, there's no point in having her as the note taker if I then have to do those notes. Make sure you get somebody fairly junior, not too junior because obviously they need to know, to take notes and make sure that they know what they're supposed to be taking. And if there's a decision, point to them and say, make sure you get that down, that we have made such and such a decision. Okay, we're great so far. We've avoided all the time sinks. We've got the notes being taken. But here's where most meetings still fail, and that's the ending. That's why this final phase matters. You need to summarize your decision. We're talking about getting what was decided, the who and the when, and maybe the where, down on paper. What was it? Who's going to do it? And when are they going to do it by? Or get it done by, or report back, whatever. All of those things are important. Excuse the noise on the table. You've also got to talk about the other topics and who owns what in all those, and get that down on the meeting to summarize. Make sure that people are listening. And now, I've already talked about this, I think. No, I haven't. On time. Make sure your meeting finishes on time. And to do that, you also need to make sure that your meeting is started on time. Don't allow people to turn up 10 minutes late. If they turn up 10 minutes late, ignore them. Just carry on with your meeting. You start on time. When they start coming late and they realize that they've missed half the meeting, they'll start beginning to come earlier for your meetings. And the difference all of this makes, it's night and day. Oh, let me just go back a second. Finishing on time also respects other people's times. Some people got to go to meetings. Bob's got to go to loo. Jane needs to go and get a sandwich quick because she hasn't eaten all morning. It's important to those people to finish on time. Okay, so back, what are we talking about? I said that the difference is going to be huge. I want to talk about a little joke we used to have at the end of a lot of meetings. Let's meet again to decide what we didn't decide this time. It's a terrible joke, but it's true. We did that with so many meetings. It's not a good idea. What are we going to get out of this? Well, we've taken an hour and 20 minutes and we've reduced it down to 25, 30 minutes. We've got a decision, which is crucial. That's the whole point of this thing, is to get a decision. There's no follow-ups, and we've made absolute real progress. You'll get known as the team that delivers. Nobody else is waiting on you anymore for that decision. If you want your meetings to run like that, here's the simple framework to remember. Prepare it, run it, and summarize it. When you prepare it, you make sure you've got your main point up front, you get the agenda out early, and you get it to the right people. You invite the right people. Running it, you need your chairman, chairwoman, your sergeant major, Make sure you start and finish on time, and have a decent note taker, somebody that knows the technical language, the jargon. Wrap it up, you summarize who, what, and when, and that will be a successful meeting. Just to update you on poor old Bob, he had a prostatectomy and now he pees like a 19-year-old. He's so happy. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe and watch this next. Or this one. Or this one. Or this one. See you again.